Okay, let's go again. Which title players are online and playing? Malby again. He's the one playing most, I think. So it was an F4 opening. Actually, I haven't tried that as white much. F4 birds. Could play a few birds as well. F4. Actually, it's sort of a reverse Leningrad Dutch. Isn't that the way he's playing it? Reverse Leningrad Dutch. With C3 here, not C4. That's a bit surprising. I suppose it undermines Black's pawn chain if Black hasn't got E5 here. Okay, let's stop observing that. It's Sicilian, I think. It's Manix. Najdorf. Don't really want to go in for a poison pawn, particularly. So Queen C7 and B5. How's Manix doing on this 15-minute? Wins and losses. So is E5 a problem already? I think Queen C7. There's no Knight B5 at the moment. Queen C7. Could be a slow move. I mean, I could be asking for it. I don't know. B5 and then E5. There's Bishop B7, and this is a Queen sack. B5, E5, Bishop E7, E takes, Bishop takes, F takes. Attacking the rook. The Queen sack might actually be on. Getting free pieces of the Queen could be unpleasant. I'll do another way of playing that position. E5, E5, Bishop B7. Takes. Now the rook's hanging as well. So after taking, maybe I take the rook. So I think that might be playable because of the rook. So E5, Bishop E7, E takes, Bishop takes, F takes. I can leave the rook hanging. Just take the rook here. Alright, now I can take here with the Bishop E5, Bishop E7. Yes. Right. So, any other little details here, little finesses? B4 on the cards, Bishop D4. If I'm really desperate not to retreat the bishop back. Bishop H4 looks just weird. No forcing moves of significance other than B4 and Bishop D4. I think Bishop E7 looks most logical. Reserve the bishop just in case. The bishop can come back maybe to F8 later. So Bishop B7, Knight D7 to C5, then B4. So F5 might be on the cards. Now if I want to play F5 without losing E6, keep this bishop here and play Knight C6 first. Try and drive the knight away. And then Bishop B7 and F5, that's worth considering. Okay, so got my second coffee here. I think. Okay, so is it going to be b4, bishop b7, or knight d7? b4 might have something going for it actually. I'll play b4, just a central attack on e4 strategy. So bishop b7, knight d7 to c5, all targets e4. He's not opening up lines yet. He's got an impressive, aggressive pawns, aggressive. But just want to undermine e4. This is knight f5 on the card, so knight d5. It's a bit late for that as well. If the knight's dislodged, back. If it goes back. Adam Hunt lost to the women's world champion playing knight f5. It was quite an exciting game, which I may show you later. I might do a video about that. It's quite interesting how the attack was quite scary, but just neutralized. So that was in the Gibraltar tournament, this knight f5 sack to get knight d5 in, and then there was a bishop on d4, and then there was knight f6. It looks extremely dangerous at one point. So yeah, there's some interesting games in Gibraltar to check out. Makes a change from Tatar. Right, so the bishop, the knight here, I don't know. Bishop b7 just looks like useful. It's about c2 and about e4, I think, this position. So knight d7, you know, rook c8, knight c5, that sort of thing. Challenging e4. If g6, I think I'm not bothered at the moment, so I'm going to get these pieces out. Maybe knight c5 to hold e6 if needed. Or takes first. I've got the dark square bishop. You can play bishop f6. So takes, knight e6. There's no bishop e2's there. I can play rook c8 if I want to tie down the knight. So rook c8, I think that's good, tying down the knight. If takes, I think take with the king probably be safer than bishop f6. Remember, we went over some master games in the past with this g6 plan, and this bishop just came on the diagonal. But is it tactically, you know, immediately significant on the diagonal? I think taking is okay because this pawn could be dangerous. So I'm going to play bishop f6 to protect g7. Or knight c5 here, just to take off that bishop for a moment. I suppose I should slow down here. So g6 here. Just keeping things closed. Seems too natural to not play immediately. So f5 I can take, and I've got a pin against the queen. b3 is a sort of forcing move, threatening takes. Actually, that's almost very, very good. So take. I can get a5, a4, b3 in, even better. c3, well, there's b takes, and that's queening. So a5, what about knight d5? Bishop f6 again on the cards as well. I think this takes is good for this pin. Also, there's bishop g5 now. I should have slowed down for that bishop g5. That could have been a winning move. Oh dear. So bishop g5, knight e3, knight d3 is mating because rook d3, queen c2. If knight d2, I think bishop g5 is worth throwing in to see if the blunder knight e3 is played. So knight d2, almost like knight b3 or knight d3. What about just... These forcing moves don't work, do they? Knight b3, bishop e4, doesn't work. G takes, we'll now lose the bishop on e7. What about just knight takes d3 and then g takes? Knight takes d3, g takes f6. I think that's piece up time. Also the rook's hanging, and this f6 is really that devastating. So the rook's also hanging. f6, I don't know, the queen, where does it infiltrate? Well, bishop e4 here is pretty nasty. Skewer, I mean it's not sort of skewer, but just neutralising f5 and everything else on c2. That's quite brutal. I don't think I've had such brutality for a while on c2. That 1500 yesterday was really supercharged, because these 1800s seem to be dropping quite badly, 1900s. So I don't know, you know, weird, isn't it? Rating systems here on the auto pairing. So he's resigned here, 24 moves. Oh well. So let's have a quick look at that. Dark square bishop, waiting for g6, just to take there. I want to get in the bishop f6 like we've seen in master games. This is a very, very nasty pin. Get out of danger here just by knight d3, just winning a piece. Even worse now, bishop e4. Comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.